Welcome to The Eyes of Indigo with your infinitely curious hosts, Iris Carter and Margot Ross Sears. Our show is broadcast live at 9:30 p.m. Wednesdays. Socio-spiritual topics are laced with humor as we discuss weird stuff in a rational way. Learn more about us in our first episode, The Prequel. Shows are recorded and available on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, iTunes, and other aggregators. A keyword searchable index is at iriscarter.com/EOI directory. Share ideas and comments in the program chat or by email. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share our show. Let us know you're here by typing your hello in the comments because we are thrilled to welcome you as we begin another adventure right now.
Here we go. We're here, and I checked our feeds, and it looks like everything's good. It's just acting weird in front of us.
Technology lately, huh? Oh, it's a bust. But
yeah.
It means we're on our way to something else. Bigger and better, onward and upward. Starlink! Okay. Calling in the good.
Exactly. That's all we can do, right?
Yeah, for sure. Well, welcome to the show. I'm Margot, that's Iris. If you're new to the show, welcome to the channel. We're glad you're here. If you're listening to us from the beyond in the future on the audio broadcast, you're very welcome here too. We are glad to have you along. Tonight's topic is a bit of a downer that we're going to bring up.
That's it. Exactly.
Yes. Iris, where are we going?
We are going to go with frustration, despair, and loss of purpose.
I was not kidding now, was I?
And the description I wrote for this program is, with enlightenment, we're excited to share and we want to heal humanity, yet we often feel discouraged by humanity's lack of response, feelings of ineptitude, isolation, loss in direction. Why are we here? What are we supposed to do? So come, we're going to talk about it and learn more about your place in this world.
Yes.
Yeah. And so it was interesting because the idea for the program came to me. I was on Facebook and saw a post on one of the spiritual pages, like It's Happening Here Now, or Spiritual Light Workers of the World, or one of those sites. And this woman had posted this really Debbie Downer post that kind of surprised me, but it caught me. And I remember at the time, my reaction to it, while I felt empathy for her, I said, oh, this is something other people appreciate, because I've been in that situation, and I thought we need to talk about this. And she was just saying, I feel like I've woken up and I've been pulled and guided to help other people and to help bring humanity up and do all this stuff, and it's not working. And what am I doing here? And what's my purpose? And what? And I just give up, and I don't know what to do. And I'm like, there, honey. With her little head.
Exactly. It's all right. Calm down.
Yeah. And
but
so
she's voicing what a lot of people think, right?
Yeah. And if anybody that's watching, if you have some of those similar reactions, please say so. And don't forget to make a comment and let us know that you're watching. And you know what? My comment thing is not here. So you're going to have to tell me if somebody, are you seeing comments yet?
Yeah, no comments have come up yet, but I can see the spot where it's supposed to show up.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
nothing has arrived so far.
Okay. It's technology. I don't know what's going on with the thing today. But anyway, so hopefully we'll see your comments if they pop up. I may check Facebook and YouTube later at some point and see what we're getting if anybody's
You want me to
commenting.
check
But
that
it's
while you continue? I can check.
yeah, if you want, just to see if anybody's said hello or they're here or whatever.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
We're here. We're
So,
here. We're here. Horton here's who.
yeah.
We'll get there.
But it is frustrating, as we were saying, you feel like humanity is failing, you're failing humanity. And it creates that feeling of isolation and the despair. And you kind of lose your direction because you think you're making full charge ahead going in one way, and you're thinking, I'm going to make a difference and I'm going to help heal the world, and it just kind of falls apart in front of your face. Um, and there's several things that Margot and I talked about that we want to bring up in talking about this. And I know one thing is sometimes our ego, and this is one I didn't mention to Margot, but our ego gets in the way
Oh yeah.
because we want to make a difference and we want to do, but where is the line between the desire to help others and being rewarded for doing that help? If you're looking for rewards, you're not on the altruistic mission you thought you were on. If you're thinking, I'm supposed to get a pat on the back and the world's just supposed to sparkle and glow and like glitter because I'm in the world waving my fairy wand, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
And so that's when you kind of need to look at what's going on with yourself. Which brings us to, what are you being asked to do? Did you read the instructions properly? We often feel a calling to do something, and then it starts getting into, you're focused on what you're doing and not yourself in the process. And it's easier to do something for humanity and to do something for other people than it is to fix yourself. Well, and I say fix, we're not broken. I mean change. If there's something
Improve.
you're supposed to
Change.
be, yeah, if you're supposed to be focusing on yourself in this process, which you should always. I mean, it sounds counterintuitive, but it's, if you should first of all be focused on you and making sure your shit's all together. Because you can't help anyone if your shit's not together. Well, you can. I mean, I'm not saying, because we grow as we move. It's a fluid process, but it's like
You can't teach other people what you are lacking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't teach what you don't know. If you know nothing about fixing Japanese cars that are on the highways of Tokyo by Japanese law, then you can't teach that. So, that's a weird example, but that's true of life and philosophy too. If you don't understand a concept, or if you've never even heard of a concept, you can't teach the concept. Okay? And this falls under that. That does not mean you need to be perfectly healed in order to teach anything. That's not what we're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Iris, please continue.
Well, and it's that you want to make sure that you're in a good place and that you're open to learning and that you're open to expanding and that you've got the right mindset to help other people. And while you're helping other people, you're taking care of you because they might have a bunch of shit going on. And if they start yelling at you because they're pissed off because they're uncomfortable all of a sudden because you're helping them, they're not yelling at you to yell at you. They're yelling because they're uncomfortable and they don't know what to do. It's like a small child, that is having a temper tantrum. They don't realize if they would just go to sleep, they'd feel better. Instead, they're going to have a tantrum keeping themselves awake because they don't want to go to sleep. And you as the mom cannot take that personally. It's why won't you go to sleep? I just want to take a nap, and you're screaming. And the kid doesn't understand, and you can't do that with the world either. Why won't you wake up? I'm doing everything I can.
That is an excellent analogy. Yeah. Spot on.
You
Yeah.
Put your shit together and go, oh, okay. Well, if that's where you're at, great. But I'm okay. I'm gonna keep moving. I'm good where I'm at. I got my shit together, so I can keep trudging along. And you're angry, that's fine. Let's look at where that anger is coming from, or let's, but you can't do that if you don't have your shit together. And so sometimes, yes, we feel called to do things, but some of that calling is also a calling to get yourself ready to actually do that. You can't put the cart before the horse.
And that's something I do. I put the cart before the horse a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's eagerness, and you're practically willing to lay in front of the cart and the horse and sacrifice yourself if it'll help the world. It won't, and it won't help you either.
So you're talking about, if I paraphrase a little bit here, you're a part of what you're talking about, not all of it, is reframing discernment. Instead of discernment only be about my output seems to be failing. Yeah, there's another perspective. Discern between your shit and other people's shit. Discern between you putting out an effort and controlling the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the same thing. And other types of discernment like that.
We have to remember also, when we're out there trying to heal the world, that they have free will. They don't have to change. They don't have to do it just because we want you to be the best you can be. They want to thumb their nose back at.
That's
free will.
Formula for failure right there. Yeah, is expecting certain outcomes for people to pick up what you're laying down, to understand what you're saying, or give you feedback to confirm what you're doing. No, you don't need feedback either. That's their interpretation. That's nice. They're trying to be nice to you. That's sweet. Not devaluing that. But seeking feedback is just going to keep you in that same circle. You're not evolving up. You're running in the same circle looking for the same gratification. Yeah.
And it's having preconceived expectations. I think is kind of what you were saying there too. The preconceived notions and the, and oh Lord, I used to be the worst in my younger years. I would be planning for family would be coming for dinner or whatever. And I had in my mind, okay, I'm going to cook this and I'm going to set the table like this. And it's going to look like this. And we're going to have this kind of fun. And it's going to be, and it would just blow up right in my face. Something would go wrong, or somebody would be in a bad mood and it wasn't the happy gathering that I thought it was going to be, and then I would just have a meltdown. And once I
Because you were
realized,
taking it personally. Yeah.
yeah, and because they weren't enjoying themselves, like I imagined this Norman Rockwell moment, it didn't happen, and oh, that's my failure, and why do I try? And I had worked my ass off to get to that point because I had cooked and cleaned and done all this stuff, and then my husband at the time would do something stupid, and I'd be, why are you getting that out? I just put it up, and you're making a mess, and I've done it there, and I would be, and he'd be going, what's the fuck's your problem? We got family coming over. You need to be in a better mood. I'm good mood. I'm trying to make things happen and be nice.
We can look back at ourselves. I did. Yeah. No, I've been in. Yes, I can relate to those situations. Yeah. You plan and plan and plan, but then it's just going to be what it's going to be, especially when children are involved.
Yes.
Senior citizens and children, they will change it all over the place. Yeah.
And so you have to let go of those expectations when you're trying to heal the world and let it be in the flow. It's being in the flow. If you're comfortable with you and you know that you're doing the right thing and doing the best you can, you get in that flow, and then it doesn't matter what happens because people are going to do what they're going to do, and you can just, I'm still doing good. I'm going to Disney World. If you want to come with me, we're going to have a good time. But if you don't, that's fine. You can sit like the schleps you are on the side of the road, and I don't give a shit.
Yeah. It's a level of freedom. I had a phone call with a lady similar about that. She said, oh my God, she said, I feel like a weight has been taken off my shoulder when I was explaining those concepts. And I said, yeah. I said, do you know what it is you're feeling? I said, there's a word for it. And she said, what? And I said, it's called freedom. You're not responsible for every single thing that happens around you. You don't have to control it. You don't have to be intuitive about everything. You don't have to be right about everything. You don't have to be responsible for everything that happens around you. Just yourself. And then you set out the ripple by you being happy. But that doesn't mean the person next to you has to be happy because you're not responsible for them. Yeah.
And they don't affect you the way they would have if you were buying into what the outcome was going to be. They just don't.
True.
It's just, you just want to pat them on their little heads and go, aren't you special? And
I love that. Aren't you special? I like that one.
And it's just such a free, you walk through a store and you see somebody over there having a hissy fit, with the cashier, and you just want to go over and hug the cashier and say you're doing the best you can, and aren't you special to the customer, because they're, one of those
Karens.
Yeah, I was going to say a Karen moment, but I don't want to insult Karens.
We know who the good Karens are.
Yes. But they don't. Again, it's those triggers. You let them go because they're no longer valid if you're doing your own work on yourself while you're going out. It's also a lot more rewarding.
Very much so. Very much so. It brings a sense of peace instead of chaos.
Yes.
Or take care of that. Now I got to take care of something else. Now I got to take care of something else. No, it's a lot more rewarding. You get to enjoy each experience as it happens.
And you appreciate the people that do move and get into the flow. It's more of an appreciation, and you're removed from it because you're not responsible for it. They've made their decision, and maybe you've provided an example, maybe you haven't, but that's part of being responsible for yourself, is being an example to other people. And also recognize other people are going at their own pace. you can't, not only
Huge.
can you not predict if they'll shift, but let them go at their own pace. And when you think about rocks are progressing, humans can be
Microcosmically
just as
slow.
slow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about as slow as you can get and still perceive it. Yeah. Yeah. Rocks
So
and crystals grow constantly. Did you know that glass is actually flowing and moving? It's just doing it so slow that we don't have to worry about it. But glass actually shifts and flows over time. Antique glass has those bulges and wobbles in them. That's because it's flowing down. It's shifting. Yeah. Things are moving all the time. It doesn't need your observation to do it. It doesn't need your permission, and it doesn't need to answer. So everything's moving all the time. Meh. Let it move at its own pace. Yeah. A comment when I've made a similar comment to clients and stuff, like during readings and so on, they say, some of them say, I understand that. However, I've developed recently a sense of urgency because I'm aware, and I've been told, and truthers and researchers are all saying something is about to happen. Shit or get off the pot. Make decisions now or get the hell out of the way. Stay on 3D Earth or move to 5D Earth, and lots of other ways to express that go time in that reporter's speaker's view. Go time is upon us. Sidebar, I agree. It's something's about a lot of things are about to pop. However, we're referring to a timeline. Another way to put it, we're still referring to an expectation, which is a form of time. So, no. Time out in the universe, time in terms of how to manifest, how to get in the flow so that you can manifest on a more regular basis, or however you want to characterize it. There's not a deadline. For people who don't want to, let's say, wake up, for a lack of a better term, they're going to stay in a lower vibration of dimension, not a lesser, just a slower vibration, and they will wake up later. It's not going to bypass them. They will have more opportunities in other incarnations, maybe later in this life. In this life, they can go to another dimension and pick back up again. You don't know, we can't know all of the potentialities that are out there. So even that sense of urgency that's being propagated a lot in alternative media and a little bit in the mainstream media too, they're starting to feel panicky. That's still their timeline. That's a human construction. No, there's no deadline. You either catch the first wave, or you're not supposed to. You catch the second wave, or you're not supposed to. You're supposed to ride in the caboose and bring it up from the rear and clean out from there and leave awesomeness behind you and no more change, or whatever it looks like back there. Everything has its role. Everything has a specific timing in its own time, like Iris mentioned several minutes ago. So, you have permission to bypass that sense of urgency that the media is putting out. You and everyone else needs to move at their own pace.
I think that's something else that we hear a lot about too, is energy workers who have family members that, especially like when you're looking back in 2020, and why my family hates me because of my beliefs, or my family won't be moving forward, and 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 it gets more intense when it's somebody that you're close to, that you're
Yeah.
thinking, you feel a lot of people will feel guilty like they're leaving them behind.
Guilt. Yeah. Shame and
And
guilt. Religious
and
concepts
that's
that
not
didn't
your
exist
fault.
before religion, just so you know.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
why would you feel guilty for something you have no control over?
Why would you feel guilty for someone else's choices?
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
feel guilty that Biden chose to be a dumbass. Let me just use a classic example here. um, because I'm not him, he's not me. I don't feel guilty that Michael Jackson died. I'm sorry that he did. I wish he didn't. He was, was a beautiful soul with amazing talent, had a very tough life, and I'm sorry he's gone. But I don't feel guilty about it because I have nothing to do with either his success, nor his talent, nor his death.
On the flip side, do you feel richer and happier because Elon Musk is rich? We have no influence over that, and we don't get the benefits, so why should we take the guilt?
Holy cow. Look at that cute little booger. The Irish made those. Oh my God, that's a brilliant insight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you feel more wholesome and happy that Elon is rich and is filthy rich and extremely happy and successful and has 7 kids and everybody in the world kissing his butt? Does that make you happy? No. That is a wonderful example. Yeah.
So
The flip side, you're right. Flip it.
feel
Flip it.
guilty? Yeah, you can't feel guilty if you can't take advantage of the happiness of somebody else. You can't feel guilty for what somebody else does.
Didn't we do a show about guilt, shame, and stuff like that? I think we have a
Yeah, I think
podcast
so.
on that. Yeah. Feel free to look up that episode about guilt and shame, where that comes from, and what purpose it serves. And it does have some gains to it, but there's a lot of reasons to not go there. There's a lot of reasons to not utilize those energies.
I mean, if you slap the
Joy.
shit out of somebody and you feel guilty for it, well, that might be deserved. But otherwise,
No.
yeah.
If you get moved to the point that you really need to slap the snot out of somebody, I have a feeling that they deserved it. Somebody needed, a physical realignment there for a second, or a shock value. I don't know. But no, if you get to the point that you gotta whack someone.
I always want to put out the vibes, because there's too many people that just start wailing on somebody for seemingly no reason. And, we see the videos all the time, and it's like, don't do that shit. Why are you letting them control you and make
Yeah.
you to the point that you?
That's let's go ahead and say it a little bit here. Those are considered symptoms of demonic possession. When sudden violent behavior against another being just pops out at way irrationally, or even slightly irrationally, because the theory goes that those demons like to feed off of anger and off of fear, both people involved in the altercation. And that's called Loosh, Loosh. Feel free to look it up. And that's actually nutrition for them. That's actually life sustaining, because they're negative beings. So anyway, that's where that theory comes from, and or that's the description of that theory. And yeah, that's considered basically an intervention with demons. Angels can intervene too.
Even tempered, and recognize whatever that person's doing that's causing triggers in you is you own your own triggers, and they own their own actions. Walk away.
You're not going to put out that energy and attract those motivations. Yeah. You're boring. You don't taste good. They're going to lick you, and they're going to
yeah.
You won't taste good, and you will move on peaceful and happy. Yeah. You won't taste right, not good, but you won't taste right to them. So, and that's true of negative people too. when you don't respond to negative people, they have a tendency to move on.
Yes.
Because you're not giving them the response that they're hoping to pull out of you. Yeah.
Why do I always have needy people in my life? Why are you always giving so much of yourself to people who are needy instead of taking care of you?
Why are you putting it out that way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, focusing on yourself, it's more rewarding, and we're individually, we're not going to necessarily see or get rewards for, well, actually, no, I'll take that back. I have had times where I have felt like I'm putting my energy out there. I'm trying to, heal the world type thing, and yet we're seeing things get worse and worse in certain areas. So I'm focusing, when I started focusing inwards and going, okay, I can't fix the world, but I can fix my little corner of it with me, starting with me. And now, day after day, I have people coming out of my office that I'm seeing change in them. I'm seeing that they come in and they're leaving happier people. And, and they make comments like, I just feel so comfortable talking to you. I normally don't share this kind of stuff, but I just feel comfortable. Or I was just so nervous about that interview, but you really made me feel good. I am so, and I can look at a lot of them and I'll go, do you need a hug? Yes. And I'll give them a big old hug and they're just so happy. And that is my reward. I get to see my little bit of effect in my little corner of the world. And they call me and tell me they're happy because they found a job, or, their resume helped or whatever. And it just fills my heart with joy. And it's not an ego thing. Don't think I'm going, oh, well, look what I did. It's sheer pleasure in knowing that they're happy. And that they did it. I recognize they did it. They just needed somebody to reflect and be their mirror. And so if I can do that, and each of us has that power, we are going to change the world.
We keep empowering each other, then eventually we're all empowered. And it actually happens faster and faster the more we do it. So you don't have to wait.
So when you're looking out at the big world and going, what the fuck are they doing? And why are they, this shouldn't be happening because I'm not hurting. You're not looking in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what's happening right in front of you. Look at the path you just walked and what did you change along the way?
Yeah.
I think it just...
The path goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
And something I thought we should bring up maybe about this time. Yeah, it's about 6 after 10 o'clock Eastern time. It helps to have two things to help you do that: community of like-minded people and access to tools or theories or applications that can help you brain wrap or live next level thinking, next level healing and awareness of life and self and your journeys. Okay, the journey it's not the destination, guys, it's the journey. So Iris, we have an opportunity for that. Can you regale us a little bit about what we're offering in March?
Yes. What we have is, it's called Heal the Healer. Excuse me, summit. It's I'm doing a real good job here, Margaret.
You want me to start the ball?
Well, I'm getting there. I'm just like trying to change.
You're typing
I was doing my little
too.
crawler at the time. It's It's an immersive beach retreat weekend from March 21st through the 24th. It starts on a Thursday evening and wraps up on Sunday around noon. And we're having the opportunity to be in a retreat resort area on Emerald Isle. It's called Trinity Center. And it'll be a group we can have up to 40 people, I think. For 48 total. So, depending on how many people get single rooms versus double rooms will make the number shift that way. But so it's not going to be like a huge convention type thing. It's going to be very intimate with similar minded people that can learn from each other and have this experience. And we've got various presenters, and we're going to be the idea is it's for people who are healers, energy workers, clergy, that already have some experience.
Teachers, artists, you do healing work for the world. Yeah.
Yes. And it's to bring them together and offer workshops and information to help them, one, reconnect with their foundation while helping them grow and supersede what they already have, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So it's a chance to focus on yourself, take care of yourself, remember how to take care of yourself while going maybe a step higher in your learning and being around other people who are doing the same thing. We're going to enjoy nature. We're going to, there's going to be 2 mornings. We're going to have Qigong classes. We're going to talk about meditation, knowing yourself, your inner self, sacred geometry, lots of topics that will cover kind of a wide range of information. And it was 19 total sessions, I believe we have.
19 activities, everything from a fire and drum circles at night to Qigong in the morning to lecture activities, speakers, presentations, audio visuals included during the day, optional stuff you can pick. And we also are going to have vendors selling artwork and metaphysical supplies and Beamer bed treatments and all of those options in between these 19 activities. By the way, it's not 19 activities back to back. That is a popular question I got. There's a 10-minute respite between some of them, and there's an hour or more between others. So you will always have a chance to break, regroup, calm down, go to the bathroom, check something out, talk to people, talk to a speaker, get information, trade cards, or go outside and ground.
Yes.
Full 8 meals are included. It's 3 days and 3 nights. Your bedroom with a private bath is included. Iris, what else?
They get, like I said, your bedroom. You can also, in the rooms are set up for like a retreat. So it's a bedroom with a private bath, but there's not a TV, and you probably won't have Wi-Fi in your room. However, every grouping of 12 rooms has a central living area that has a television and a kitchenette, access to a microwave if you want tea or coffee or whatever, it's there.
Wi-Fi.
And so you can chillax in your room, or you can cruise with the people that are in your little pod of rooms in the
Oh, they have fireplaces as well. Yeah, those living rooms, they have fireplaces as well. So they have DVD players. Yeah, there's lots you can do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they also have
Rocking
hiking
chairs on the
trails.
patio. There's beach access, and then there's the inlet
Boardwalk,
side.
boardwalk
Yeah.
and docks that you can go out.
Yes.
There's a swamp marsh walk that you can go through. Really huge, old, gorgeous trees, tons of photo ops. You can see the sunrise on one side, you can see the sunset over the water on the other side. It's really cool. Yeah, and it's a nature conservatory started by Theodore Roosevelt's son, who eventually sold it to the Episcopalian diocese, who welcomes all types of groups under the auspices that the diocese keep it a nature conservatory and never let it be developed. And it shows. The place is really cool. It is really cool. The vibration is very high. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're interested, go to the website and you can get even more details, and the schedule's up, and the registration forms are open. It's first come, first serve on the registration. And it's in March, the 21st through the 24th, and some people think, well, gosh, that's in March. I can't believe October's almost over. I mean, it was just August. So imagine how fast March is going to get here, because the holidays are upon us. We're going to fly through those.
Guys, it still gets up to 80 degrees here. I live on the coast. I live about 2 hours south of Emerald Isle. So no, yeah. In late March, that's the beginning of spring. No, it's not going to be 70 degrees at the warmest part of 75 degrees, but it might hit the high 60s, 70s. And if you're in the direct sunshine, it gets way warmer. So no, we're not going to use the swimming pools. They do have 2 saltwater swimming pools. We're not going to use those, but we are going to use the fire pits and the beachfront and everything else that the weather allows. Yeah. Which reminds me, one of our speakers is a weather shaman. Yeah, so good odds, guys. Katie Costa. Go check out Katie Costa. Yeah. Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah.
And I've already put in my orders for having, and my expectations and orders for having a nice weekend. And I've had really good success with requesting weather and getting what I need. I got to tell you a funny story that happened one time. Might as well, while we're on the topic. I was planning an outdoor film screening. And so I had said, and it had been hot and humid. And I said, told Creator, I need a nice evening, nice breeze. I want everybody to be comfortable. That day was one of the best days. This was in July, and it was warm, but by 6:00, it was cooling down. And where we were seated, there was just this gentle breeze coming through that was cool and cooling everything down.
Nice.
There was no rain in sight. It was perfect weather. And then as the sun started going down, there were people milling about, and somebody started like smack, smack, and they're spraying bug spray, mosquitoes. And I said, "Oh, getting mosquitoes?" And they said, "Yeah." And I just thought, we got to do something about that. All of a sudden, a bat flew through. And people started going, and I said, "Don't you dare. I ordered this weather, and then I asked for help for the mosquitoes, and I get it. You're not going to bash it."
Greensboro is known for its bat population.
Yeah.
Awesome call. Yes. Yeah, dragonflies and bats will take them right down. Yeah.
So it was just, serendipity, whatever, but it was like, yes.
Take it right back out with that breeze too. Keep the breeze going. So,
but a lot
check
of
it
what
out.
we're talking about here, will be taken to a higher level at our summit that we're having. So yeah, it's not going to be a regurgitation of stuff that we've already taught. We're taking it up a notch. I had to share this.
It's a fuzzy picture of a cat with a wild hurricane hairdo. Yes, I'm a little overwhelmed. and can't take it anymore? Why do you ask? He's got his little crazy hairdo.
We've all felt that way every once in a while. And Margot, earlier you were talking about the 4 agreements and how it fits in with this topic.
Yes, we've mentioned this book before, and again, it is germane to what we're talking about. Sometimes we listen too much to the little judgy voice in our brains that are telling us we need to worry about that. We need to focus on that. Whoop, that didn't work. Did we do it wrong? We must have failed. We have to go fix it. And, oh, I was an idiot. What's wrong with me? Oh, I did that wrong. I slept too long. I tried too hard. I didn't pay enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not fat enough. I'm not skinny enough. Blah, 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 blah. That's the little judgy voice in your head. The 4 Agreements is a very thin, easily accessed, fast read, wonderful book that can even be found for free. Look on YouTube, look on Amazon, look in used bookstores, Barnes and Nobles, and all those, Books A Million, anywhere. It is everywhere. The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And he literally tells you step by step how to control or rather manage that judgy voice in your head and free yourself for the rest of your life. And the 4 Agreements are the 4 thought processes you have to embody to maintain that peace. And they're easy. You just got to do them. Go check it out. The 4 Agreements. By the way, if you've read this book before, maybe months ago, maybe years ago, it's been out for what, Iris? Maybe more than 20 years?
I think so.
If you've read it in the past, guess what? It's one of those really cool books that when you go back and read it a second time and a third time, it means something else entirely different to you. So go check it out. It's one of those books you can flip it open and whatever page it falls open to, read it. What that page says is going to mean something to what you're working with. It's also one of those kinds of books. So thank you for reminding me about that piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else have you got coming up? Don't you have some classes or something coming up?
Thank you. Yes. Oh, yes. Thank you for bringing that up. Yes, I am teaching a Reiki 1 class in 2 days, a Friday and a Saturday, a Friday night and a Saturday afternoon at the beach, November 3 and 4. It's a Reiki 1 class. No experience necessary. You just need to be over the age of 18. You just have to be over the age of 13. And you're qualified besides the fee. The fee is $185. It includes 2 teachers, me and my husband, and your full color Reiki 1 textbook that you keep for keeps as a part of it, and you are certified for life. Go check it out, indigoanswers.com. If you already have your Reiki 1, I also have a Reiki Masterclass on 3 Sundays in late November. And I also have a Reiki teacher class on 3 Sundays in early November. And yes, they overlap. One's in the afternoon and one's at night. So wow. Check it out. Yep. And there's more. I'm still not done. I've got Reiki circles. Yep. I've got Reiki circles free, open to the public. October 20 and October 25. One's at 3 p.m., one's at 6:30 p.m. Again, indigoanswers.com. You can see the details for that. And Heal the Healer in March with Iris, obviously. That's another one we've got going on. And I'm still not done. I still have weekly beach drumming circles every Monday night through the end of October, which means we have 2 more left. But in the winter, we're going to go to once a month at an indoor location in Calabash, Sunset Beach area in a music conservatory. We're a lot of conservatories lately. called Free Spirit. You can check that out on Facebook, Sunset Beach Drum Circle, also on meetup.com. Meetup.com has us as Sunset Beach Drum Circle. And you can find out the dates for those. Come join us and have fun. And now, I mean, of course, I still do photograph weddings and family portraits and maternities and engagements and senior portraits. I still do all that work as well, photography. And my husband still does weddings and music. Yes.
Very cool. Yeah. Well, for me, this Saturday, they're having a downtown fall festival in Madison, North Carolina.
Yeah.
And Madison Dry Goods carries my book, The Care and Feeding of Ghosts and the Children Who See Them. And I was delivering some more books to him last weekend, and he said, why don't you come and be in the store next Saturday during the festival? So I'm going to go up there for a few hours on Saturday, probably from like 10 to 2. I'll be in Madison Dry Goods, and there's going to be some other people. They were on Netflix, featured on a Netflix haunting series. They do have ghosts in the store, and see if I can make that. I won't make it much bigger, but
make it readable. Yeah.
They're going to have, people doing different things. They're going to have a tarot reader and other stuff, but I'm going to be there. So if anybody wants to come see me and come to see the festival, there's going to be other stuff going on in other shops and all. So that'll be fun. So that's this Saturday.
Autographed book.
Yeah. Yes. And the whole event's from 10 to 6, but I'm just planning to be there in the early part of the day. And then in November, the first part of November, November 2nd through the 5th, which is Thursday through Sunday, the Healing Tree Circle is hosting a metaphysical fair, and they're going to have drumming on Sunday afternoon. And that's going to be from 11 to 6, and there'll be all kinds of healers and people, and I'm planning to be there as well for that. So I'll have my little tent set up, so
nice.
People can come to that. Yeah, it's during A&T's homecoming's going on during that time.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
So there'll be a lot of traffic, and they're between A&T and downtown. They're right in that little strip of Market
So as the
Street.
crowds roll out into the city, you'll catch it.
Yeah, but you don't have to get into the heavy nitty gritty A&T traffic to get there. So it's not,
that's very useful. Yeah.
Yes. So look up the Healing Tree Healing Tree, what do I call it? Healing
I think that's right.
Healing Tree Center. Yes. On Facebook if you want to know more about that, and look up Madison Dry Goods for the other information if you want, or go to my page on Facebook. I think I'll have both of them up there. And then let's look real quick. Our upcoming next show, like I said, it's the end of the month already. Next week, we'll be releasing the attachment to outcome. We're going to talk about that and how that can affect and make your life a little bit easier too. So, and how to do that while you're still manifesting and all that good stuff. So, yeah. Now, forget anything else. I think we're done.
I think we did it. We did good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, we appreciate you being here, and look forward to seeing you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you for joining the Eyes of Indigo with Iris Carter and Margot Ross Sears. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this podcast. Music is Arcadia by Kevin MacLeod. Find us at facebook.com/Eyes of Indigo, on YouTube under @Iris Carter Enterprises, and on various podcast aggregators. Copyright 2023 by Iris Carter and Margot Ross Sears.
It's still just flashing.